Stupidly epic. Hello everybody and welcome back to You Go 5 Minutes. Today's game is Hob on the PS4. Now they developed Hob as a Steam game as well, so it's on PC as well. But the version that I'm going through just now is the PS4 version. First off, I'd like to address the game's biggest problem before I start emphatically praising it. The game, at least on the PS4 version, at least from what I've played, has a slowdown. Quite a bit of slowdown actually. They have patched it so that it's not quite as not quite as there, but yeah, before the patch it was, after a little while of gameplay the game started chugging like mad and it started to go really slow. Now it's not as bad, but it's still there. So I don't know, maybe they can further refine it, do another patch or something like that, try and get that fully sorted. But aside from that, guys, the game itself is, if you can imagine a sort of top-down kind of isometric. You can see for yourself the camera angle, but imagine like Ico or Shadow of the Colossus or whatever. You kind of running about this great big open world map, and you're just kind of solving these little puzzle dungeons. Most of the time when you solve these puzzle dungeons you'll get something cool to like a new move or something like that. And yeah, wow, what a cool game. So you're playing as this little character here who's got you see the big arm on him. Initially he's just this normal creature thing, but the way he gets the big arm is he gets grabbed by this sort of mucusy horrible disease, like a poison flower or something like that, and it starts eating away at him. But this total cool big robot that's helping you cuts your arm off and then replaces your arm with his arm. He rips his own arm off to try and save you, and gives you a cool big robot arm. And yeah, so that's how the character's got a cool robot limb. And having a wee bit of trouble with the platform in here. I'm going to fall through the wall again. So Runic Games are the guys that developed this, guys. It's the same development team that done Torchlight 1 and 2. The sort of Diablo style games. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that is the Runic Games are the guys that kind of split away from Blizzard to make their to make their own studio. And Torchlight was one of the first games that they made, so it was another sort of Diablo style thing. The kind of Diablo the way they wanted to make Diablo, the way they thought Diablo was kind of should go, sort of thing. So this is their next game, and visually totally stunning. Like I said, bit of slowdown on the, and it's unfortunate as well because aside from the slowdown, the game runs and looks beautiful, it's just that slowdown, that kind of the occasional bit of chugging in the frame rate and stuff like that. That's kind of, it's just really annoying because aside from that, man, what a cool game. There's not actually too much to the game though. What they've got going on is extremely it's almost like the entire game's this inner workings of a clock, it's everything's all clockwork and mechanized, and all the mechanisms of the game work, and everything all fits together like a big jigsaw puzzle, and that is cool. That is really flipping cool. But in terms of the actual gameplay, the moment-to-moment gameplay, the execution of it isn't too complex. It's you're just kind of running about. You use your big fist thing to punch things that are needing to move, grab and pull things and all that sort of stuff. He's got this cool little bronze sword thing, and yeah, you fight monsters with that. And yeah, so like I said, inside dungeons you'll find upgrades and stuff like that. So that's a seismic slam or something like that. So I'm pretty sure that's the move where if you jump and punch the ground, it'll do a shockwave against enemies. Let's be back in the water again, man. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, the character's got an awful lot of upgrades. One of the upgrades is you can essentially hold L2 and his arm will turn into a shield, so you're able to like block and parry enemies and stuff like that. But like I said, in terms of moment to moment, it really is kind of just about the platform, and like the combat itself. Like when you're fighting big enemies, it can range from like sort of moderate to tough, but like when you're like this is the majority of the game, is you kind of running about and exploring this big sort of gorgeous world, which is really cool. But that's the biggest detractor for the game, which is unfortunate, because like even though there might not be an awful lot going on, there's still that slowdown, and like I'm pretty sure the slowdown would just be non-existent on the PC version, because the PC version's got, you know, like as much RAM resources as your PC has on it, you know, whereas a PS4 is kind of limited in that sort of sense. But man, such a cool. Look at the art style. The art style is absolutely phenomenal. Everything's all sort of like. It's funny because like all the buildings and all that, you can see that they're totally carved and all square and everything like that. But all the organic stuff looks organic as well. You know, everything, all the trees and all the animals and everything like that. It's just so cool. It's just everything about the game has this really, really unique vibe, this really unique aura, and yeah, man, I can't think of another game that's like this in terms of its look, and obviously in terms of its overall sort of gameplay loop and all that. It does feel kind of like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus sort of thing. There's a wee glimpse of the map as well. The map's huge, by the way. The map's gigantic. And it's just, I don't know, like there's an awful lot to do here, but if I were to recommend a version of the game to play, like I've not played the PC version, but I am assuming that the PC version doesn't suffer from the slowdown that the PS4 version does. So I would say probably go for the PC version, at least until they've properly, fully sort of like refined this the PS4 version, and sort of look at that, you see that there? Not just the slowdown, but like if you go back and quickly like watch what actually happened, the world just sort of slotted into itself. That's totally epic. That's so cool. But yeah, what was I saying now? It's totally forgot. Yeah, the PS4 version does seem to suffer from a bit of slowdown, so until they've kind of eradicated that from the code, like maybe within a patch or two, maybe they'll have it all fixed. But for now, I'd probably assume that the PC version is just the one that runs better, just purely because it's, you know, a PC version. But what a cool looking game, guys! Certainly a surprise to see such a sort of a cool, unique new IP. You know what I mean? Like it's just something that looks and feels unique in an industry that's just full of like just the same sort of brown garbage all the time. You know, like this generation's done an awful lot more to impress me as opposed to last generation, because last generation was like the first sort of HD gen, and they were all like, oh, it has to all be war shooters, it has to all be brown and grey and like all boring and that. But this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like, man, like what you can do with a good art style in a game. You know, nothing in games needs to be photorealistic when you've got something that looks this good. You know, but yeah, guys, that's Hob on the PS4. Like I said, probably better to go for the PC version if you're on the fence, if you've never played it yet. But yeah, it's out on the PS4 as well, just a bit of slowdown. But I think you would have an awful lot of fun either way. So guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now, guys. Bye! So guys, we've got plenty of stuff still to go. We've got, next up I think we'll be doing Battle Chasers Night War. And then after that we've got some bigger name games. We've got like Neo, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen for the PS4, and The Last Guardian. I bought The Last Guardian as well, so have a look at that. See you soon, guys.